Hello, hello, hello. 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 Testing. 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 Hello. Okay. Now it seems better. Good. No more echo. And hello. Hello. So I need to figure this out. Okay. Is it better? Yes, it is. So I had just configured multiple listening my own voice. Now everything's fine. I've turned off my own audio, so I won't hear myself. That's good. Okay, let's start. Where were we last time? I need to manage my windows here. Damn it. Okay. P5JS. Alright, here is our repository from last time. I pushed everything I did last episode on my GitHub repository, which is under my username /Flappy Bird P5JS, and it has index.js, style CSS, sketch.js, which is the main JavaScript file which we worked on. And this time I will just copy the whole thing and then put it on our browser here and then see what happens. So it loads the game. You can play it, and we were trying to implement sprites for this. So the bird needs to look like a bird, not just a circle. And I failed to actually quickly use any sprite. The problem we were facing was I couldn't create an image file here. Let me quickly try to just put something in there. Something. This clock. See, it doesn't allow me to upload an image file. I can create text files, so code files, anything JavaScript, CSS, HTML, like this, but I can't add an image file. And if I don't have an image file, I can't load that image file, because last time I tried to load from internet, like some image file somewhere in the internet, which didn't work as well. Oh, there's an upload. Oh now I see. Now I see. Now I see. Okay. Okay, I got it. So let me find so okay, anyway, at least we have some image here. Let me rename this. This is clock. So clock.png, and I don't remember how you import image files, so let's go to the reference and maybe search for image, and we need to define a variable for our image. We need to preload the image, and in setup we will call image function, which is probably something from p5.js, and provide the image that was preloaded and give it a position. Right? So la defense image, top left corner of the image is at 1010 and width and height. So if we just provide top and left, it will probably render the image in full size, but if we want to render it in smaller or different dimension, we can give the dimension as well. And here we call back display the image after loading. Load image and this display. So looks like if we preload, we don't have to do the callback stuff. If we do not, then we also have an option to load the image dynamically. So dynamically load the image and then show it. And top left corner, started position 50-50, subtraction. Draw this subsection to fill the dimension of the destination rectangle. Oh gosh. Ow. So it gets complex. We don't want anything complex like this. Oh, look at that. Contain the whole image without distortion, the image aspect without distorting the image aspect ratio, the image within the specified destination box and display at left center position. Left center, contain left. Alright, and cover the whole destination box without distorting the image, which is nice. Okay, we learned image today. So what I will do is I will add the image variable and preload function. Just copy it over. So for now I will not touch the bird and all our other stuffs. I'll just try to draw our clock.png here, and inside setup we okay, inside draw we can call image img 0, 0. So let's just try rendering the image at top left corner. Oops, loading. Oh, see that? So we have the image. Wow, that's magical. we have our image. We can now render the image, but we just don't want to render that image there. So instead of the clock, we want the the Angry Bird of Flappy Bird image. Let me find the image I have downloaded. I'll name it Flappy Bird, flappy.png. And now if I just go back here and upload file, I can just drag and drop it here. 4KB. There. Okay, flappy.png. So now instead of that image, I will just load flappy.png and then run. Okay, nicely done. Is it so big? If it's that big, okay, it is big. I will just resize the image and re-upload. Tools, adjust size. I think it can just be 10 by 10 pixels. 10 by 8 should be enough. Ooh, it looks too small. Wait, let's make it 20. I think we can always resize it. Pixels by 16. That looks nice. Sorry that you can't see it, but I can. Now I'm going to just replace the image like this. Okay, it didn't replace, but it just created a new copy. I'll delete the old one and then rename back the new one to Flappy. Now if I refresh this, see on the corner there's a Flappy Bird. So now going back to our sketch file, instead of drawing image at here, what I will do is go to our circle. We simply drew circle for the bird. I don't see it. There you go, circle. So instead of this circle, what I will do is draw this image at the exact same position. There you go. And just get rid of that. Yeah, looks good. There you go, our Flappy Bird. Awesome! Now we have the Flappy Bird as a bird. So now you see the bird is not like facing up or down when it's flying upward or downwards. That makes it look really dumb. Now what we want to do is we probably want to rotate the image. For that, I will once again go back to the reference and see rotate image. It didn't find anything, but we already saw there's something called rotate, and in here rotate rectangle. Okay, let's read the first line. Rotate a shape by the amount specified by the angle parameter. This function accounts for angle mode, so angles can be entered in either radians or degrees. Objects are always rotated around their relative position to the origin, and positive numbers rotate objects in a clockwise direction. Transforms apply to everything that happens after the subsequent calls to the function. Okay. So I have no idea here. It seems like if I call the rotate function before drawing a shape, that will just rotate it. Let me try rotating it. Oh, it just rotated everything. Nice, 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 nice. This is crazy. So then probably I just need to rotate it back to 0, right? So I think that's generally how it works. So no, doesn't work. Still don't understand. What am I supposed to do? I just want to rotate the image. So, for example, calling rotate half by and then rotate half by is the same as rotate by. Ah! Okay, so if I rotate 0, then it is not going to rotate at all. So if I rotated however many rotated by however many much angle, I'm supposed to probably rotate it in a negative value of the same magnitude. Yeah, oh, look at that bird, it's going crazy. Look at that bird. So now the origin right now seems to be not correct. So what do I set for the axis 3D? Wow, what? In 3D, the axis to rotate around. We want to rotate around z-axis, right? Yes. But what do I pass in? I don't get it. Anyway, doesn't tell you how to set anchor. There's no anchor. Objects are always rotated around their relative position to the origin. What does this mean? I need tea. Now let's Google. look at that. So rect mode is center. So rect mode, because we're doing image. Is there image mode? There is image mode. Center. Very interesting. Corners, center. There you go. So if I set image probably here, I guess. Doesn't work. Right before image. What the? Doesn't make sense. Push and pop. I have very little hope. No, doesn't work. I am clueless now. It just rotated in a weird way. It rotated so that the whole coordinate system for that thing rotated. So it used to be straight vertical like this, Now once I rotated it like this, now its y-axis rotated to this. So now when I jump, it jumps in this direction and it falls in that direction. What the? So I am still like, I could still think of a solution. If I could nest this image inside a wrapper so that I just rotate the image inside the wrapper, but the wrapper still stays the same. So wrapper doesn't get rotated. That way, wrapper can still be like flying in our previous way, but we can still rotate the bird inside it. So the question is, B5JS, how do I nest image in a wrapper or something like that? Okay, anyway, I will take a break here. Nothing seemed to work. I'll just comment these out. Rotation has proved to be much complicated than I thought. So I just wanted to rotate the bird. Whenever it's flying upwards, it faces upwards, and if it's flying downwards, it faces downwards, which I didn't ask for too much, but it seems to be too much work. Anyway, this is not too bad. We could still see we could at least see the bird flying instead of just this orange circle. So that's our Flappy Bird. Wait, let me save this sketch. Save. And I think, okay, this is the name of my sketch. I will name it Flappy Bird. And is this going to be, am I going to be able to share this? Yes. So I can share the URL to my sketch on the chat so that if anybody wants to play with it, you can, and maybe fork and do whatever you want. And I will take a short break. Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello. Hello, mic check. Hello, mic check. Mic check, hello, hello. Awesome. Okay, now. Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello, mic check. Awesome, that sounds good. Great. I see one like there, whoever it was. Thank you so much for liking the video. Although it hasn't been a smooth stream today, I have been busy for some other private issues just in the middle of the stream, so I'm back now. There's nobody watching, I mean, not so many people watching anyway, so I hope that wasn't a big problem. And let me quickly turn on my camera here. There you go. So I still need to get some things done here, so I will be jumping back on and off because something needs to be done right now. Okay. Anyway, so we tried to rotate the bird as it flies up and down, but we failed. The reason being, whenever we rotate the bird, it also rotated its axis, which means if the bird rotate towards the right, its z-axis will tilt as well, which means it will now jump on this diagonal direction, which is not what we want, and we're, I think, good. Probably we could actually use a sprite so that we could, you know, do some flapping animation, or even the rotation. We could just use a sprite and then have the character rotate in that sprite, so that we could just simply switch the sprite whenever we want to rotate the bird. That's one other way, but because we don't have time to edit the image and then create a sprite and do all that, I'll just leave that for now. And because the Flappy Bird game is pretty much done here. One thing, I actually, after ending the stream last week, I thought to give it a try on my phone, but because we are just listening to keyboard events, it doesn't work on the phone. So on the phone, either I need to connect a keyboard, an external keyboard or something. Otherwise I can't play the game. So what I would like to do is I would like to simply add a tap handler, or whatever it's called on P5.js. I would like to handle that as well. So touch, maybe, yes, touch started, touch moved, touch ended. So I could just use touch ended and just call the same function as we have done for keyboard press, and that should work on phone afterwards. Let me see, where's our key press? Here is our key press. So what we're doing is whenever we press some key, we change the velocity of bird in negative direction, which is upwards direction, and at the magnitude of 8, which means it will push the bird upwards. And during the game over state, we just reinitialize the game, which means if I'm on the game over screen like right now, if I press any key, it will just resume or restart the game. So that's our action. We can create a function for this, right? Call it whatever, input. I don't know, it doesn't have to be anything specific. We just want a function, a named function that we can call it here. Input really doesn't sound very nice, but we're doing two different things here. One it is jumping. Let's call it jump, right? Which at least makes sense for half of the implementation. So it's actually making the bird jump, which is just this part. And if we are trying to jump when the game is over, it will just restart the game, which is also, we can just make sense out of it. So key pressed, and what's our new event? Touch ended. So that's what we want. We'll just paste it here and jump here. So this should make our thing work for phone. I don't think there's a is there a way to open this on a new window? Run. No. What I'm trying to do is open this on a new window. Anyway, what I can do is also I can use this, but it's really weird. I want an iPhone, and then, oh no, it's not responsive. How rude is it? It's not responsive. You know what? I can actually push all these changes to my GitHub, and because we have it deployed on GitHub, we can actually try it here. So in here, if I switch to mobile, also look at that zoom. So right, so here one thing, tap event or tap end, touch end, and another thing is zoom 1. So for something like that, I probably just Google it. Viewport zoom for mobile. So how do you disable zoom port view on mobile? Viewport meta tag. So this is something I just Google it whenever I need it. Right. I just initial scale 1 and zoom false or something like that. Where's device width? Initial scale 1, maximum scale user scalable is 0. Yeah, let's do that. Right, user scalable equals 0. What? User scale label equals 0. Sorry, you won't see what I'm doing right now. I'm just adding this to the HTML5. We do have HTML file here too. Let me just close that. And here, let me close the console. And here, index.html, what I'm doing is I'm just adding this here. User scalable 0, scale initial scale 1. So that should take care of the zooming problem we have right now. Now what I'll do is I'll just add that to the file in file locally, and then also I will add the jump touch, this thing here. So this will add compatibility to on our mobile phones. I'll just replace that. So now I will just push the changes. Mobile CMPAT mobile compat, and actually we also added image here, right? Oh my god, where's our image? This thing, I need to add these as well. Okay, why am I just not copying the whole thing? So I will just copy whole thing, paste it here. So now we have the bird as well, and I will need to add the flappy.png finder nosh flappy.png to the root folder. Right, add flappy.png, update for sketch file, mobile compat, and bird image. Okay, push. Now Flappy Bird has a new commit, mobile compat and bird image. This should now trigger the deployment, and last week, so it hasn't yet deployed. There, build and deployment. Okay, so it will build, and once it's done we will see the latest changes on our GitHub page, which we will then try to test on. Yeah, it seemed to be done. Code, let's go to here and then here. Now just got deployed. Now, oh, there's no bird. Oh, there is bird now. So there's our bird. Another thing was on mobile devices. So as you see, it was zoomed full screen, or covering whole. Oh, I don't know what's happening here. It's jumping more than once. This is interesting. So at least the tap actually made a bird jump, but for each tap I'm seeing 2 jumps. Yeah, for each tap it's jumping twice. Yeah, this is like next level difficulty. Oh, we can tap as well. Oh, if I'm not using the responsive window, it's fine. I can just click once and it's responding fine. Only when I'm on this phone mode, it's doing the weird thing. Let me try that again here, and this time I will just tap outside. Oh, now it's working. It works, it works, it works. Cool. It works. So I can use my keyboard or I can use my taps. Okay. You can give it a try on your own phone. I will leave a link on the chat. Where's our chat? There you go. Pastor Alper Usal. Pastor Alper. Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on, off, customize, go to do on. Okay. That sounds cool, but right now I am not interested. And So you can test this on your phone. Actually, it's too wide. I need to fix the width of canvas. I think max width should do it, right? Let me inspect. And here, canvas max width 100%. See? Now I think it like squeezed the screen, the canvas a little bit, but not visible. This is fine, right? So now we don't have the horizontal scrolling. I'll just add this to our style.css, which is in here, right? It's nice that we have this editor and preview in the same window, but now that we have the code base in GitHub and also here, it makes it hard to keep everything in sync. So now I changed the CSS here. I will have to do the same on the GitHub. So I think now is the time we abandon this p5.js editor and just use local IDE, and it's not hard to run a browser inside the IDE. So that's something I will have to think about. But for now, I'll just copy that and bring it over to the local CSS file, save it. So that should do for our mobile compatibility. One other thing is, because we have this 400 by 400 pixels canvas, on mobile it's a little awkward because mobile devices are tall and this is square. I think if this had similar aspect ratio, I think it doesn't matter so much on desktop because, you know, it's not going to be full screen or something. But yeah, let's try height of 600 and see how it looks. There, doesn't look bad. Doesn't look that bad. Oh my gosh, I'm getting really bad at this. Yeah, so it doesn't look bad on the desktop as well as on the mobile phone. It will look much better. So I will add that change to our local file as well. And then yeah, that looks nice. Close this, refresh. So that will remove the blue, these space on top and bottom, which will make it look nicer. Yeah, that looks like we're done with Flappy Bird now. This has... Okay, let me push the latest changes. Sketch and the style. What did we do? Responsiveness. Just pushed it. Now I will not wait for the deployment or anything. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. But now what I want to do is I want to try a different game. What I will do is I will reuse this. Since we have everything in GitHub, I don't mind breaking anything here. But I want to repurpose this game to be something different than Flappy Bird, because Flappy Bird is really simple. We have seen it working. We have seen the physics, gravity, jumps, horizontal movement, and all of that stuffs. So that's nice. But what I would like to do next is use even more features, like if I want to move the character left or right on the screen, jump, fly, bounce, for example, all those kind of stuffs. So I have a game in my mind. Let's see how it looks now. Nice. It's tall, so it won't be awkward on a phone anymore. Like it will look like this. We still have these lines on the top and bottom, but it depends on which phone you're using. So it will be bigger for bigger screens and smaller for some, but it's at least tall, which makes it a little better than before, right? So now, yeah, I can touch and nice. Oh, come on. Yeah, so probably I should make it black or something. Anyway, or just blue. But then that will make these obstacles look like they're floating in the sky. So I think black sounds fine, or white, or as it is. Yeah, I think that's good enough. So I will just stop that here, and what I will do is I will start changing things. So let me drink my tea. So the game I have in my mind right now is called Baloon Fight. If you have heard of the game, please write it down on a comment, and if you liked or not. Baloon Fight NES. It's a very fun game. I used to love it, and I don't know if we can play it online right now. So this is the game. It has these. So the blue helmet guy is the player character, and you have these balloons on your head, which allows you to float on the in the sky, float in the air, and you can turn left, right, fly, and all those stuffs. And if you step or kick on others' balloon, you kill the enemy, and if they pop your balloon, like touching with their legs, they will pop your balloon. So the player will have two balloons, which will last for two of those. So you get hit twice and you fall. So that's one idea of the game, because the reason why I choose it is because there's all this physics going on. Like you're not just jumping or running. There's a kind of, if you see when it goes right and left, it has inertia. So if it's going right, you can't just turn left because it's pushing you to the right. So if you start hitting left, then you have some inertia you have to deal with, and then you go left. And because it's a balloon, you don't have like full gravity, so like there's some damping thing going on. So all that makes I like to experiment with. So that is why let's get going with it. Balloon Fight. I hope I get a PNG of Balloon Fight. Nice. So this guy, oh, there's a girl as well. Very nice. For now, I'm okay with just flying a Flappy Bird like that. So what do we want to do? We want to first get rid of stuff like the pipes. We don't need them anymore. What are they called in the game? They're just rectangles, right? Let me find the rectangle. Here's a rectangle. Two rectangles. So position block and position gap, all those things are now gone. Let's run it. So now the bird is just, oh, it's just not drawing it. Position block, these are gone. Position bird is still needed. Position block, game over. Position bird greater than height, bird less than 0. This is gone. So now the bird will just keep flying. So bird is flying, but only on a vertical axis, and it's not going right or left. For this, velocity forward is not necessary anymore. Velocity forward, yeah. Oh, there. These are gone. Position of block is gone. Position of gap is gone. So all of those things related to the obstacles are gone. Position gap, position block, all that are gone. Height gap gone. Let's check. Yeah, our bird is still flying. Now in Balloon Fight, you don't die if you touch the top edge of the screen. um, but you die if you fall in the water. So for that, this logic, if this is greater than height, should be removed. No, I mean less than 0 should be removed. 0 is the top, height is the bottom. So that will now allow the bird to fly way above the sky. We don't want it to fly above the sky, but we want to just bounce it back if it touches the screen. And same for left and right, because no, in original game left and right will, if you go all the way right, you will pop out of the left side, which is nice like in Pac-Man, but I think for now we will stick with bouncing back. Like if we hit any corner, any side of the screen, we bounce back, except for the bottom, because bottom is water and you fall inside the water. A crocodile will eat you, and that's the game. That's actually in the original game. If you fall there, a crocodile appears and eat you. So now this is done. What we want is, now as we have velocity of bird in vertical axis, we want the same on horizontal axis. So here velocity bird is not enough anymore. Velocity bird, first of all, let's correct it as velocity y, right? Velocity bird y, velocity, we're fighter, player, let's call it player y. So now I just have renamed the velocity of bird into velocity of player y, because on our previous game Flappy Bird, we didn't need x-axis velocity, so that's why we called velocity, the only velocity. Now this time we have both x and y velocity, so we will have to name them accordingly. So we will have both. We initialize it, and then velocity x will also be required to initialize when the game starts. So velocity x will need to be 0, because you don't want to be moving left or right when the game starts. Velocity y3 is gravity, it's pulling it down, which sounds fine. So now let's try that again. It falls and game is over. It can fly, but we don't have any control over going left or right. So here for key press, we want to use condition, what key was pressed, and then depending on that we want to move the bird in corresponding direction. So key pressed, if I don't remember any of the key names. Key pressed, so in key pressed we have backspace, we have up arrow. I will use space, why is there no space? Oh, or is it just space? I think it's strange because space should also have some similar key code. Or am I just blind? Don't see it. So there's a backspace now. Very interesting. Is enter and return not the same key? I have no clue. Anyway, we will then use up arrow for that. Right? If key, or what was it? Key code. If key code equals key code equals up arrow. If I have pressed up arrow, then jump. If key code left arrow, then we will have to steer left. I will not define a new function for this because now on a phone it will be a different story. So yeah, this needs to be gone because we will need some kind of joystick or virtual D-pad or something on the screen for touch devices. So that is why I will just remove that part. We will not support this game on you know what, I should have just forked this. I was thinking of this and GitHub, but this is also nice place to keep the code. I don't know how I can fork this. Right, file, duplicate, Flappy Bird copy, nice. Oh, but what happens to my changes now? Oh man. Now if I go back, it still says copy. Oh, now it says Flappy Bird. I want everything back, but it doesn't give it to me. Anyway, I have it in my local copy, so I can just put it back. So this is Flappy Bird, so it will stay Flappy Bird, but now that we have a copy, I will save this and then open Flappy Bird copy. So this one is now Baloon Fight. Right, now Baloon Fight will not, what happened? It's not registering my space. Now we have up, and right now left arrow doesn't do anything, but what we want to do is, if you're pressing left, you're trying to change velocity player X towards left, which is a negative value, equals minus, like for jumping we will just use similar value, and also add, you know what, if they are different conditions we could use else if, and then else if, did I copy? No. Else if, so if this is right arrow, we will change this to 8. So now we should see bird moving left. Oh no, still not, because the velocity changed, but our bird is not following the velocity. In bird position somewhere here, we're drawing the image at width by 3, which is always static. We want position of bird in X, right? Before adding this, let me rename position bird, because we don't want position bird to be position bird, because we were using that for y-axis position. But now this will have name position player, because now it's not a bird anymore. Position player Y. This is the position of player in Y direction. It used to be only direction, only position we needed on Flappy Bird, but in this we want both of them, so we want to name them Y and X. The position Y is being updated here. We want to do the same for X position. Position of player in X is always addition of the velocity of player in X, and then instead of the 0 I will put position player in X. Now let's see if we can, oh, there's something broken. What does it say? Pose player X is not defined. Yes, because we didn't define it. Pose player X was never defined. And also here, pose player X, let's keep the player at X equals 200, which is almost in the center of the screen. Now see, I pressed the left and the bird flew left, and now I can't find it. Okay. Now, oh, left, oh, right, oh. Now it can go left and right. See, but this is really hard to control. I can reduce the velocity to 2 or 5, 3 maybe, so that whenever we press the key it will just move slightly. Yeah. And again, two things here. One is, as soon as I press left, the bird just shoots to the direction. As soon as I press right, it shoots towards the right direction, which is not what we want. We want the inertia. If the bird is flying to the right, it should not abruptly go left. It should take time to slow down and then push it towards the left. And that's inertia. And another is damping. If you push to the right, there's some air resistance or whatever trying to stop you. Like in gravity, which is opposite, something is pulling you and it's adding acceleration in the falling motion. But for the horizontal case, it's damping you. It's going to oppose the direction, oppose the object in whatever direction it's moving. So I push right, it will go right for a bit, but then eventually it should stop, because that's physics. needs to stop somewhere. There are friction, there are air resistance, and all those things. That's what we want to implement now. So one thing is abruptly going back and forth. That's because we are setting the velocity towards that direction abruptly. What we want to do is we want to just reduce the velocity in opposite direction, which means reduce, subtract. So if it's moving towards right, we want to just subtract it by 1 or something, or 2, so that if it was moving in velocity of 6 pixels per frame, which is too fast, but if it's moving 6 pixels per frame, we want to reduce it to 5 or 4, something like that. And then eventually, after pressing 4 or 5 times, it will then face backwards. So to do that, what we want to do is we just want to reduce it, right? Minus equals. Now whatever the value was, we want to reduce it by 3, or that might be a lot, so let's try just 1. And if I'm pressing right, it will add to it by 1. So now if we see this now, see, it's hard to, oh man. So for time being, probably I should remove the gravity. Right? Oh, there's still gravity. Oh, if there's no gravity, it just keeps flying up. That's bad. Okay, keep the gravity. Maybe keep it a bit low. Also, gravity needs to be reduced, which is because we have balloons. So you're not falling in a full speed. It should fall very gently, very slowly. Right, so now that looks much better. Oh, but jumps are too high, so I will reduce jump to minus 1. So, oh, no, it's too hard. So let's make it 3. So now, okay, it's much relaxed, right? So now I'm going left and trying to go back right, but it's not letting me because if I'm already going right, it takes time to go back to left. See? So now this is more natural, way natural. Alright, nice. So also the gravity is still too much. But I think X has really worked well with just one iteration so far. Let's reduce the gravity a little bit more. 0.07. Nice. Okay, this almost feels like I'm playing Baloon Fight, but the jumps are still too abrupt. You can't just jump like that. Maybe reduce that to 1. Nice. Uh, okay, 2 should be good. Cool. So, okay, now this feels good. Now, next thing is the bouncing when you touch the bounce. So right now it can fly out of the screen, which is bad. So we want to limit it to whoa, whoa. Oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. So it gets really out of hand. That's why we need the bouncings. So now this year there was one thing here. If the position of player y is less than or equals 0, I want to do something. So it should feel like it bounced, like heavier it hits, heavier it bounces back, which means just reverse the velocity, right? So if it hit by 3, it goes back by 3. So here we if it's hitting the top, it's certain that the velocity is in negative, velocity y is in negative. So what can we do? Velocity player y, velocity player y is equals minus velocity of player y. That sounds simple. That could be used on yeah, let's try that on all sites. So if player's x position was less than equals 0, velocity reversed. Right, let's try that. Okay, so if I go see, it bounces back. Now if I go left, oh, nice. Oh, bounce. Oh, but the force is way too much. See, that's really uncontrollable. Also, it doesn't bounce at the same force, bounce back at the same force, because it will damp a little bit, right? So if something is falling, it bounces lesser and lesser every time it bounces, which is true for this as well. So it can't just be negative, but it should damp away some of its force. So divide it by 2, say it bounces back with just half the magnitude back, which will make it a bit more real. Bounce. Oops, didn't work. Bounce. Oh, what just happened? It didn't stop working. Ah, it worked again. Oh yeah, it seemed to work, but certainly it also just, oh, that's not working. Something's wrong here. And if I go way up, also this jump is a bit not enough. Also, jump has the same rule, because for left and right, as we reduced or added the velocity, jump should have the same effect, because also jump can not be abruptly in upward direction, because if it's falling it can't just go up, right? So if it's falling and you press up, it slows down and then goes up, which means this cannot be -2, but this can be minus equals 2. Let's see how that works. No. Wow, that's hard. Yeah, and now it works. Ooh, that's nice, but this bounce effects, that worked. Okay, so now it can bounce on left and right. There's one issue here. Sometimes it just doesn't bounce. It just goes piss. And then on the right it doesn't bounce because we haven't added that. So if that's left bound, else if this is going towards the greater than equals width, right? Also do the same. Now it should bounce back from left and right. Nice. Nice. Okay, now our bird will not fly out of the screen. It will always be in the screen because it will bounce. Oops, that didn't work. What just happened? Where did it go? Oh, there. What just happened? So bouncing logic still doesn't work. What could be wrong here? If anybody's watching, if you have any idea what's going on, could you please write it on the comment? I don't have much hope, but it would be really awesome if somebody else also participate. I have a hunch here, because it's less than equals 0, it's not certain that it always So I guess if it's really hitting hard, then it's not bouncing back, because when it's hitting really hard, what we are doing is we are changing player's position here with the value of velocity, which means if it's 10 pixels or 12 pixels per frame, it can just go beyond the bounds by same amount of pixels, like 20 pixels for example. And if it's gone that deep, we are trying to flip the velocity and reduce it by half, so it bounces back but only 6 pixels, or however much I have said before, 10 pixels. If it was 20, it bounces back by 10 pixels, and now still it's inside the, outside the viewport, which means it's, yes, exactly. So it means it's still outside, so it's now flipping Okay, now I see what's happening. So it's just oscillating inside the thing. Never thought of that. So this doesn't seem enough. We need to check direction. Yeah, this has been really easy because, you know, it's the same thing. Even I could use OR here, but doesn't work like that. So now I really need to say just go back in this direction, not just opposite direction of where you came from, but go back in particular direction. So I will have to say you know what, I could set the position and then do the change in velocity. That could work. I would say, you know, you went too far, let's put you back to 0, right? Now switch the velocity. That should work. Let me try that. If this bounces every time now, that means it got fixed. Looks like it got fixed now. It's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing, it's bouncing. Yeah, it got fixed. So if it got too far away from 0, we're just pushing it back to 0 so that it can fly back. Yes, so same needs to be done here. Very good. So here we don't want it to be 0 but width, right? So now they also for top, yeah, we will just set it to 0 and then push it back. Nice. One other fix would be not just reversing the direction of the velocity, but also saying no, go back this particular direction. If it's hitting the left wall, go back to right. That way it will always push backwards, and there's no possibility of oscillating in that region. So yeah, this seemed to have worked. Also, if you see on the right, the bird gets like out of the screen for a second because the bird's 0 is on the top left of the body, so it, yeah, kind of, we see it until the top left of the bird is touching the wall. Nice. So this thing works. It can bounce back. Now I can fly. It feels very much like the Baloon Fight now. Cool. That's a lot of physics in like few lines of code. Right? What next? Next is obstacles. If there's a platform, this bird needs, the character, the player needs to land on it. Right now it doesn't land on anything. It falls down and dies, and on the top left and right it just bounces back. So we want some platforms and then put like add a collision detection and uh, land the bird there. And also once landed, all this inertia gets reduced, because now the bird is not flying like with the force of balloon, so it's pretty much, it can walk on any direction abruptly. So there we will also have to change the way these velocities are changed on key press. So this will then be did we add the air resistance? I think we didn't. But air resistance is pretty low, so it's still natural. It's looks really natural. I don't mind, because you know there's inertia which looks perfectly fine. Air resistance, I think it can be neglected, because so far I don't see any problem. Anyway, we may take care of the air resistance later on. Now, platforms. We want platforms. Let's draw a platform right on the bottom of the screen. To keep it simple, I should... Okay. Let's say we have only one platform. Let's start with that. Let platform position of platform Y, and we want we want XY width and height. Should we just define an object instead of all these variables? Well, I see 2 viewers. Welcome to the stream. If you are liking it so far, please leave a like, and also write on the comment what you want to see next. I am really desperate for some some social stuff here. So I could think of these being objects now, because they're all pretty messy. But you know what? We can take care of that later. I'll just keep calling them position Y, position X. Actually, this can be X and this can be position X, position Y, and also we want at position plat. No. Width of the platform. Width of the platform. Height of the platform. Now we want to set all this add the initialize function here. Let's keep it there. What's the shortcut for tidy? Shift Command F. Get rid of let and equals 0. Platform X starts from 0. Platform Y 0. No, not really. Y needs to be height minus something. A height minus height platform, maybe. Okay, height minus 100, say. Let's say platform's height is always 100 pixels or something. And then width of platform is width. We want to just fit the platform on the bottom of the screen. So platform width, height, and all that. Let's draw it once during the setup because it probably won't change, right? Oh wait, we will have to draw it every time because this here background will always fill it. So here we want, what's stroke doing here? Probably this can be helpful. So here rect position of something, position platform X, position platform Y, width platform, height platform. So let's see, there you go, there's a platform now. Awesome. And let's make the platform fill. What did we fill? Our say 0, 100, 0. Let's do that. Now let's see, it's now green. No, it falls down, doesn't touch the platform. Now we will have to check or detect collision. How do we do that? If the position of player is within the field of the rectangle, it's really easy. Ouch. If game state is in progress, here position player Y, player X. Now here one thing we want to do after detection is changing the velocity, because we're adding this downward velocity to the player because gravity. We want to remove the gravity because we don't want the player to fall after it touches the platform. So this will depend on, if not on platform. Let's define a variable if not on platform, right? So this is the variable that we will set depending on there has been a collision detection or not, right? So on platform, let so let's start by adding on platform true. Because how it starts is the bird is sitting on the platform, but there's still some gravity going on. Not the gravity, but so here, if it's not on the platform, accelerate, right? Else, actually stop. If it's on the platform, there should not be this y velocity at all. So that will just stop, and then if it's trying to fly, then we will have to change that. Okay, let's see. Now it's stuck there. What we wanted to do was go up. So it says it's still on the platform, so there is no gravity. So how do we get it out of the platform? First thing, our player's position on Y should be this. See that offset, which is weird. So now it's on the platform, but once it starts flying, on the left and right there's inertia and all that, so left and right is fine, but up is always stuck because there's this here. So if it's not touching anymore, first thing, it should not be on the platform. So here let's fix that. If, when is it touching? If pose Y, pose player Y, player's Y position is greater than pose platform Y, and pose player X, if it's touching, and pose player X is, right now it doesn't even matter, but you also need to know which face it is touching, right? You can't be touching from the bottom and then get stuck on the platform. That's not how it works. So it should be landing on top of the platform. So this sounds like simply collision detection is not enough. you need to understand which direction it touched. Right now we have placed the platform on the bottom, but these platform can appear in the middle of the screen, like this in the middle. So you need to know which direction did the character touch the platform. So if it touched from top, it's good. There's no gravity meaning that it's not falling down, and you can move left and right. You can still fly above that. If it's colliding from the side of the platform, there's a bounce. So as we did on the left and right boundaries of the viewport, so it will bounce just like it does on the screen boundaries. If it's on the bottom, it still bounce. Yeah, that's how it works. Rest is just fine. So we need to understand if it landed on the platform or not. Colliding with it is not enough. So to know if it landed, if position player Y is greater than equals position platform Y and position player X is greater than position platform X, right, and position platform, no, position player X is less than equals, less than width platform minus post platform X. So what I'm doing is, if the bird has moved to the position where it has entered the platform or touched the platform, then what we have to do is we want this bird to be colliding, and colliding from which direction is the most important part. Very interesting. This is getting really interesting, but because I will have to stop streaming now, it's too late. But I'm really into this now. Velocity of player. So this is not going to be on platform true. So this is not correct, but let's just say we have one condition when it's in platform. Actually, this is in platform, not on platform. Else on platform equals false. So let's see what this does. It got out of the platform, so once it shoots out, it knows that it's not touching the platform anymore. Ooh, slippery. There you go. So here we need the damping or air resistance, in this case friction, because now this doesn't have any friction, it just keeps sliding, which is nice. It feels like it's really slippery platform. Very nice. See, this is half done. It's not, it doesn't understand that it can hit platform from other directions as well. Right now, because we have placed the platform very cleverly on the bottom, it's not going to hit the platform from any other direction than the top. So this all is working just fine because of that. If we want to place the platform in the middle of the screen, it will not understand how it got, like what it has to do. Like it will just stick on the platform. This is a very good state, very good progress here. So I can fly, bounce everywhere, and land there and just keep slipping left and right. That's awesome progress. I will leave this at that and stop this stream. Whoever watched, thank you so much. And if you're watching from the future and you liked the video, please leave a like, maybe a comment or two if you have something for me, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see these videos, if you want to participate, and that's it. I will continue next week on Sunday or even Saturday if I get time, but for now, that was all, folks. That's all. Really interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye and see you next time.